Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly reporting tonight from Washington, and in the What the Heck Just Happened segment, humanizing the Boston terror bombers. Some folks are very disturbed that 19-year-old Dzhokhar Tsarnaev is now being overly scrutinized in a social way.
You told us at one point that you had, in high school, a little bit of a crush on him.
Yes, I did. How could you not?
What was it about him?
I think it was that he was equally smart, but also humble and, you know, incredibly funny. Like, he was just an all-around wholesome and good person.
Well, it's now from New York, Greg Gutfeld and Bernard McGurk. So, Gutfeld, you're a little teed off about this kind of stuff, right?
This is beyond disgusting. We've turned terror into an article from Teen Beat magazine. Could you imagine them applying the same argument to Adam Lanza? That would never happen. For some reason, we are actually feeding the attention-seeking segment of losers who realize they'll get nothing in life except maybe some kind of fame from this. And we are feeding that by having these stupid interviews with stupid people. It's disgusting. Loners and losers learn from this.
Now, let me ask you a question, because I might be guilty of what you're criticizing here, Gutfeld.
Yeah.
Last night I used the mother and the father of the Boston bombers, loons.
Yes.
Saying that, you know, they weren't guilty and the United States executed them. And was I wrong for doing that?
I don't ever want to see anybody associated with them again. I don't want to see the faces of the family, of the killers or their families. I hate them all.
So you don't think that that's part of the story, that bad parenting or stupid parenting might lead to this kind of stuff?
Ugh.
That's different. But Bill, these two that you interviewed, these two are psychos, and thank God we allowed them to come into the country 10 years ago. Boy, aren't we happy. But listen, with, you know, for example, the Scott Pele thing, in the New York Times, Michiku Kukutani labeling the kid Holden Caulfield, like describing his like for, Frosted Flakes and his taste in music and stuff like that. I mean, and on the Jon Stewart show, calling the kid a hottie. Listen, it's inexplicable with communist sympathizers.
I got it. I agree with you. You have to walk a fine line here by giving information about these two, because there's natural curiosity about any villain. I mean, Hitler, they wanted to know who his mother and dad were, you know, who his girlfriend was, Eva Braun. But if you start to, you know, say he's a hottie and all this crap, then you're over the line.
But why, though? Why do they do it? The question with
they do it to fill airtime and to fill pages.
Well, I think it's more with communism, the ideology they sympathize with. So communist terrorism was okay. With this, they don't sympathize with it. So the only conclusion you can draw is they don't like this country, and therefore the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and therefore they like these people.
I think it's just a matter of non-thinking. All right, so Gutfeld, you paid some attention, I heard, to the Time 100 list. They put that out every year.
Yes.
And McGurk, you say?
Well, first of all, it's just a cheap stunt to stave off the inevitable demise of a la Newsweek is what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, on the list, I mean, influential. They had a Bollywood actor, an Italian soccer player, a Brazilian chef, and then they had Kamala Harris, who was only famous because of Obama had his Brent Musburger moment. Joe Biden's on the list, who is to Obama what Gary Busey is to Donald Trump. They had Lindsey Vonn. I mean, she has a calming influence, helping Tiger Woods sink his putts. But that's it. Who else is she influencing? She's not influencing anybody.
But if you look at the Time 100 list, Gutfeld, it's basically a commercial list, because it's all over the world, and they want people to buy the magazine all over the world.
Yeah,
that's the
problem with Time is it's officially thinner than Kate Moss. I've seen instructions from an IKEA furniture, a piece of furniture, that are thicker than that magazine. So what they did is the list isn't really a list. It's more like the most searched terms on Google. They found out who was most popular, and they just threw it together exactly to build their brand, because it's dying.
Right, a hedge fund billionaire that two people on Fox Business ever heard of. Where's Bill O'Reilly on this list? Pop icon, best-selling author.
No animals on the list. No animals on the list. PETA should be outraged.
No animals on the list. See, it was the most influential people, Gutfeld. I mean, come on.
Animals are people too, Bill. Animals are people too.
We got our pinheads of the week with the boys. Back in the book segment tonight, who are the pinheads of the week? Once again from New York City, Bernard McGurk and Greg Gutfeld. So McGurk, you selected Richard Branson, the CEO of Virgin American Airlines, who wants people to hook up in the sky.
Here's my guide to getting lucky at 35,000 feet. Try treating her or him to something delicious using the new seat-to-seat feature of Red, the Virgin America in-flight entertainment system. Just order a drink, meal or snack, select his or her seat, and don't forget to seal the deal with a suggestive seat-to-seat chat. I'm not a betting man, but I say your chances of deplaning with a +1 are at least 50%.
All right, so why is Mr. Branson a pinhead, McGurk?
This guy should not be allowed to own an airline. Hey, first of all, the only way you get lucky when you fly these days, it's so stress-filled, is that if you're not squeezed between two smelly fat guys, your luggage gets there and your flight's not delayed. Imagine if you're sitting there, you're some chick, and they'd say the guy in row 23 with the blanket over his lap just sent you a drink, and he's going to follow up with a text in a couple of minutes. I mean, people want to be left alone. Leave me the hell alone and just get the damn plane landed safely.
Gutfeld, if you do that, the marshals on the plane will come and arrest you and cuff you. You know, you send somebody peanuts. Plus, they're $8 if you want to send some pretzels.
This only works on the Greyhound bus. I usually send like a half a beer up to some poor lady, but not on the plane. I agree.
Texting on the plane from some loser, half-licked-up loser. You turn around and you see Anthony Weiner 4 rows behind you. You're like, what?
Yeah, that wouldn't be a good thing.
Get me out of here.
All right, now, Gutfeld has chosen our pal Tom Brokaw. Roll a tape.
And I think we also have to examine the use of drones that the United States is involved in. And there are a lot of civilians who are innocently killed in a drone attack in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, and in Iraq. And there is this enormous rage against what they see in that part of the world as a presumptionist of the United States.
All right, Gutfeld, go.
I agree with him. I blame drones, too. Drones like him. He is a drone. He cannot pronounce the letter L, and he cannot pronounce Muslim terror. He suffers from Islamophobia, which he's scared of being perceived as a bigot, which prevents him from actually placing blame. And let's remember, drones did not exist before 9/11. They were commissioned afterwards, and they didn't exist before 1993 during the World Trade.
I took him to task, Brokaw, earlier this week, and I wrote my column, my newspaper column. It's in the New York Post and other fine newspapers across the country right now. So I'm not going to beat up on Brokaw.
Bill, I had visions of you trolling the Upper West Side with a baseball bat looking for him. You were that honked off earlier in the week.
We wanted him to come on a program. He declined.
I didn't understand what he said.
I have to handle this one because this is a serious one. This is my pinhead of the week. Cesar Chavez High School in Stockton, California saw this happen. Roll the tape.
Get your hands off of me. I'm backing up.
My hands are not
Don't put your hands on me.
I'm not putting my hands on you.
Can you move?
No.
Give me my stuff. Can you give me my stuff right now? Because I'm getting real pissed off right now. And I'm trying.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Can you get the off of me? You know. Push me. Come back.
All right, that's just a disgrace, all right? And the suit
like
involved Marlene Martinez has been suspended but not expelled. And this is the pinhead of the week. The district superintendent out there in Stockton is a man named Steve Lauder. Lauder should right away, given her the right to appeal the expulsion, but sent the message to the country, to everybody in Stockton, that you cannot have students fighting with teachers. You can investigate, but you don't suspend, you expel. Pinhead of the week. Gentlemen, thanks.